And Megan for moderating, for the public library for hosting this. This is one of my favorite places in town. To my fellow candidates, my family, and campaign committee, I wanted to get a chance to publicly thank them, and also to all of you, because this is really a terrific opportunity to get to speak. So again, my name is Megan Fidler-Carey, running for one of the 3-year seats on school committee. I just have to tell a quick story first. I recently found out that my grandfather was on the school board when my mom and her twin sister were growing up on Long Island. I never knew that. I knew that he was in the Kiwanis Club, so very committed to his community, but I never knew about the school board. So I've decided to believe that that's a sign that the school committee is in my blood. Having worked in schools for nearly 20 years and having worked with school committees as part of the work I do, I've come to value thoughtful and thorough communication as the best way to join policy and practice. An informed school committee can really drive a district forward in terms of student achievement, not only for academics, but also for social emotional well-being and civic engagement. When my husband Charlie and I moved here 5 years ago with our daughter, we moved here for a lot of the same reasons that most people do: for the good schools, the proximity to Boston, for the idyllic parks and neighborhoods, the great neighbors. And we moved here right before our daughter Marley was going to start 3rd grade at Killam. So we wanted to get involved in the community, so we started to do research to see what there was. And I looked at the town website, and I was very impressed with its value for the history of the town and making sure that that was really celebrated, and also for the volunteerism that there was. So that was perfect. I signed up to help out with the Killam PTO, and then shortly after that joined town meeting. When I learned that this position for school committee was opening up, I sat with my family, and we decided that this was a good time for me to take my professional experience and join it with my newfound commitment to service to Reading. My experience points directly to serving in this role. Number one, I'm an educator, and though not a prerequisite for serving on school committee, if you think about it, the 3 people who are stepping down are all of the education experience on the committee at the time. So I began my career in education as a substitute teacher right after I graduated from college, and from there my path was set. I have a master's in education. My postgraduate work was in a leadership in schools program where I focused my research on partnerships and collaboration in education. I've worked in 3 districts with 5 different superintendents over the last 20 years. I've also worked and served on several different relevant boards and committees, including currently I'm the president of the New England Alliance for Concurrent Enrollment Programs at the high school level. I'm the co-chair of the Network for Extended Day Directors at the elementary school level. I was the chair of the Mayor's Education Advisory Board in Revere. I was on the Commonwealth Dual Enrollment Council at the state level. I've served on committees in schools for health and wellness, graduation requirements, community service, business internships, and many more. When I go to work every day, I'm working under policies that are set by a school committee. I'm working under leadership of a superintendent who was hired and evaluated by a school committee. And I'm working in a budget that is set by a school committee. So with this perspective, I can identify the challenges that Reading's facing, and I can also know whether they're not unique to us. I can say, in my experience, this is something that I've dealt with in every district where I've worked. Or I can say, you know what, this really is our problem to own, and we've got to figure this out. And likewise, I think it's really important that I will have ongoing perspective to know when there's other districts who have figured something out, and I can say, you know what, we have to go sit with them for a while and figure out what they've done right. Second, I'm a parent. My daughter Marley is now in 7th grade. She's at Parker. We had wonderful experiences at Killam, wonderful teachers, both at Killam and Parker. Her opportunities at Parker is to be in the school musical, band, chorus, the art club, and other clubs, to take Spanish and accelerated math. They've all been invaluable. She's also partnered with, in partnership with the schools. She's been a book buddy here at the library, which has been terrific. But I'm mindful of the fact that Marley is one kid with one singular experience. So I'm also planning to call upon my 450 other kids that are in Medford in the after-school program that I run to look to them for my understanding on how other kids experience school, because I know that kids access and experience school in many different ways. So third, I'm invested in serving in Reading. I mentioned that I'm on town meeting. In 2017, I was appointed to the Reading Cultural Council, which provides mini grants for arts and projects in the town. I joined the Reading Embraces Diversity leadership team, which seeks to promote understanding across differences and interrupt racial and other bias in all aspects of the community, and is most especially in the schools where we can. And I'm also on the Reading Education Foundation, which has fundraising events in the community to raise money to provide grants to teachers in Reading Public Schools to do innovative ideas in the classroom. Most recently, I was delighted to participate in the Reading 375 celebrations. I want to include that because that was really important to me. We hosted Porch Fest and also did research on our historical home as part of the If This House Could Talk project. So that really, I thought, was very cool. Reading's such a great town. We've got terrific neighbors and terrific teachers and really terrific kids. I have the educational background to provide informed input with a critical eye for looking at policy, budget, and leadership, and I'm deeply committed to this town. So I hope that you'll think about that on March 3rd when you're at the ballot box or when you're voting early, and look for the 3 names, Megan, Fidler-Carey, and vote for me.